Hello, everybody, and welcome to the afternoon tune. I'm your host, Josh, and I got my co-host today, Christina, Cosmopolitics there. Christina from also Movie Night Extravaganza there. Cosmopolitics everywhere there. She's in a lot of different spaces. Busy woman there.
Yep.
And she's joining me to help me do a review for Wuthering Heights there, or I should say, quote unquote, Wuthering Heights there, the quotation marks around it. There is that. Gonna get into that when we do the review. But that's it. Just doing a review of Wuthering Heights there, the new movie from Emerald Fennell there, starring Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie there. And do that, and then of course I'll go ahead and raid out there with somebody who's on. I always do that. Somebody there, Mini Portable, Purple Wine Tails there. But happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Christina.
Eh,
You're dressed for the occasion. I see there.
yep.
Is that a onesie or a jumper or is that
It's a two-piece
okay?
matching velour outfit. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, do a right after that, after we do the review. And then after that, just upcoming streams there. I don't have any stream planned for tomorrow. Don't have any stream planned there. But Monday, I am going to be joined by Sage from Rated M for Immaturity. Me and Sage are going to discuss State of Play, going to do that. Also do a review for Fallout Season 2, do a review of that. Also got a review of The Last Dragon for Black History Month. So got that coming up there. The Muppet Show, do a review for that as well. And I'll finally review the YouTuber movie Markiplier's film Iron Lung there. You've already seen The Muppet Show, haven't you?
Yeah.
And what did you like about it? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I was like, finally, Muppets are back.
The Neil was my co-host there. He was always talking. He said that the Muppets are always coming back. They're never just here. They're always doing something
Yeah.
where they're always just kind of coming back there. But I hear it's getting good reviews. I'm gonna check it out tonight or tomorrow, and then watch it there. But do that. Do you have a favorite Muppet?
Well, I mean, God, who's my favorite Muppet? Oh, Jesus, I can't even. I don't know. It's probably always gonna be Rolf
Okay. Which one is that one again?
the dog.
Oh, the dog one. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So got all those ones. Were you more a Sesame Street kid or Muppets kid or?
Well, I mean, I didn't grow up on Sesame Street, but I did watch a lot of the Muppet movies growing up.
Okay. Yeah. I can't remember if well, I've seen that one with Jason Segel. I've seen that Muppet movie. I've seen that one.
You never seen A Christmas Carol, Muppets Christmas Carol? Because that's the only Christmas Carol to really watch.
No, I've never seen that one. I've never seen that one.
How? It's a Christmas tradition.
So I haven't seen a lot of classic. I haven't even seen It's a Wonderful Life. I've never seen that one. I haven't seen Miracle on 34th Street. I haven't seen that one. It took me forever to see Home Alone. I hadn't seen that when it came. It took me forever to see that one. So yeah, okay. So a Muppet Christmas Carol. So I'll put that on the list for upcoming when December films there. Muppet Christmas Carol. Okay.
Yep.
I'll put that on the list then. So yeah, do a review for that. That's what's coming up Monday. No stream for Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna be doing Dracula, doing that, the Luc Besson movie, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, the new Gore Verbinski movie, Whistle, the horror movie starring Daphne Keane, and then I forget what comes out this upcoming week here. What other movies get released, but I'll be sure to review those. Christina, let people know about you. What's got going on? What's got coming up next? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/cosmopolitics. I'm also over at Movie Night Extravaganza. We're doing our Oscars month. We did our Oscar snub, Wicked for Good, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, also on a leftist media collective called The Space. Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
So this is you right here. This is your channel.
Mhm.
People can find you there streaming. I usually pop up in the chats. They're always in there to see Christina there streaming. Good old annoy her. So I'm always there to do that. People can check you out. And this is movie night extravaganza there. And then these great people here always have wonderful guests on. Julia was a wonderful guest on you guys
Mhm.
doing your Oscar picks there.
Yep.
So that was very wonderful. You dressed for the occasion. Even though it didn't get nominated, it was nominated in your heart and spirit. Wicked for good there. Yeah. Oh, I remember this moment. I think that's when Julia said that K-pop Demon Hunters got her pregnant. I think that's when she
Yeah,
said
something
that.
like that.
She said that, but very cool there. So yeah, Forrest and Conan and Christina, all of whom have been on the show before. Very cool there. And then you also mentioned the leftist space there, which you stream on Twitch too, right? With that?
On this space, no, we don't. I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
why. It's
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 just
it's
YouTube.
hard. It's just YouTube. It's hard to stream news content on YouTube because a lot of news channels on YouTube, like ABC, CBS, CNN, you cannot watch them. You can't react to them on YouTube. And I'm like, you guys, we could have made it big on Twitch if we tried because we can react to stuff on Twitch.
Do they copyright strike you if you do it on YouTube when you react to the
Yeah,
news?
it's stupid. I don't like streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, they quick with that copyright thing there. Very quick with that. But this is this space right here. People can check it out. All types there. I'm trying to here you go. Here's
Yep.
you and Forrest there. So
Yep.
you guys the absurdity space thoughts on the situation in Minnesota. So very cool there.
Mhm.
So people want everything there. Cosmopolitics, movie day extravaganza, this space. Like I said, she is everywhere. Very awesome there. Very cool. Yeah. Thank you so much again, Christine. Thanks for joining me. Do this review of Wuthering Heights there. Have you read the book or
Nope, I've never read the book. I was going to read the book senior year of high school, but some bitch beat me to it. And also, my English teacher did not read the book either because her mother, who was also an English teacher, told her to not to read the book due to Heathcliff's dirty fingernails.
Dirty Fingernails? Okay.
And from what I understand, because
Mm.
I've seen all the film adaptations, like dated back to 1939 one. This is some love story. Like I don't like reading like the character descriptions of like Heathcliff. I'm like, okay, he seems like a piece of shit, abusive asshole who acts like an abusive piece of shit asshole when he doesn't get his way, and then Catherine is just a brat. Like a brat. Like no wonder Charlie XCX did the music for the movie. But I'm like, this is not some great romantic love story. So when people found out that Emerald Fennell was doing a movie or was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna make it like some pornographic freak fest. She's gonna ruin this beloved novel. And I'm like, and I watch it, right? And I go to see it today, and I'm like, this movie could have been rated G for
Mm,
real. Like, I'm like, this was not some, like, this is probably her most, she's only done a few films. This is probably her most tamed film. Like, I'm
mm,
like, this was not some steamy hot, like, I'm gonna go and diddle myself later thinking of Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi fucking. Like, I'm like, this was not some hot. I mean, the chemistry was there, but I'm like, where's the HBO Max level like nudity? Like there this movie again, a lot of stuff was like implied or like edited in a way where it's like it's not that graphic.
mm. Well, let's get into it. So our first and only review of the day is going to be for the film Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights in quotation marks. There.
Yes, loosely.
Um,
Loosely
so
adapted from the novel.
So this is directed by Emerald Fennell. People might know Emerald Fennell. Her other work includes Saltburn. There also includes Promising Young Woman. I
Mhm.
have seen her two other films. I like Promising Young Woman. I think it's fine. Saltburn. It's funny to laugh at. I like that for that reason. Saltburn is kind of that reason. Kind of enjoyably bad. There. So here she is with a new movie, Wuthering Height, which is an adaptation of the Emily Bronte novel. There from 1874. And as you were saying before, so this film, the book has had many, many adaptations. There's been many film adaptations of this dating back for many, many years. I've never seen
Mhm.
a film adaptation of Wuthering Heights before. So this is my first time there. In this new adaptation, you have Margot Robbie and you have Jacob Elordi. Margot Robbie, who's playing a woman named Catherine. Jacob Elordi, who's playing a man named Heathcliff. What is this all about? Well, you have a boy who gets adopted into the family there, Catherine's family, Heathcliff there, who she names there. I heard in the book it's different. In the book, her brother is the one that names her, but here the
Yeah, the
brother is
brother
dead.
actually has, like, is a character in the story, like, not like, again, very loosely based on the novel, so there's some characters that are omitted or not even mentioned.
Yeah. So they changed that here. So she names him Heathcliff there. And then he gets adopted into the family, grows up with the family there. Eventually, as you know, they get older. It's time for Catherine to find a husband. She ends up finding a husband in a rich, very wealthy man that moves next to them, the Earnshaw family, as they're called there, who moves next
Yeah.
to them.
It's
Oh,
it's literally like the borough and the township because it's like she's, like, in the poorest part of the neighborhood, and then there they are, rich, wealthy, like, down the road, like, not even like a mile or 2 down the road.
yeah, like a few miles down the road there. And yeah, so it's just like she's like, okay, I gotta, eventually I'm getting older. It's time for me to get married. But she still obviously is in love with Heathcliff, and it's kind of this tragic kind of love story between the two of them. And are they gonna make it work? And are they gonna be ending up together? And all the things that come into kind of conflict with them getting together. So that's kind of the setup you have of this. And this film is getting kind of very mixed reviews. It seems like people who, love the book, hate the movie. It seems like they're really reacting negatively because they say it's a terrible adaptation. People who haven't read the book seems like they're a little bit more positive on it, that they seem to kind of enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah,
Um,
we if you come into this not knowing anything about Emerald Fennell, then you're probably gonna hate it. I mean, there are people who know Emerald Fennell are like, "Oh, no," and I'm over here like, "I know what to expect." So my expectations were like, here, like, not down here, not up here, but, like, here.
Yeah. And then I know a lot of people, the expectation, I mean, this has been teased, this movie as being the best sexual cinematic experience of the year.
Yeah,
You're going to
the
need
year
a
started.
raincoat when you go see this movie because you're going to leave the seat dripping after
Yeah.
you see this. Two incredibly gorgeous, beautiful people in Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie getting together there. This is, let's say, this Valentine's Day. This is a
Yeah.
movie for people for Valentine's Day to get all hot and bothered with.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, a lot of elderly couples in my theater. I'm like, y'all must have read the novel, I'm assuming? Okay, well.
Yeah. Which I heard in the novel, they actually don't even have sex in the novel, right?
Yeah, that's very it's more like tragic abuse and like no real like there I mean back in the day it wasn't until like the 70s where period novels were written with sex. I mean, that's why Bridgerton became such a success because there was it's like a genre of like novels of a specific time period, but like Bodice ripping, I think it's called or something like that. It's like a subgenre of where it's like there's sex in like in the Victorian and Regency eras. And the Flame and the Flower is a good example of like if Emerald Fennell wants to go like
Mm,
all off. I highly recommend she adapt that novel because there's like rape scenes, there's like like lovers to haters tropes. It's a whole thing where it's like it was banned for a long time and it was written by a woman in the 70s and it's kind of led this genre where it's like yeah, women in the 1800s got freaky too. And so that's why, this adaptation Wuthering Heights it's controversial.
okay. Yeah, so that seems to be a lot of discourse around this movie. The sexual kind of nature of the movie, the performances of Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie there, and performances of them. And like I said, it being in quotations. I guess that's Emerald Fennell saying, well, this isn't supposed to be an exact adaptation of the book. It's supposed to be my own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Um,
I felt like what she should have done is have a woman be, like, obsessed with the novel and project her feelings onto her life, like, I feel like that would have been a good, in quotations, "Wuthering Heights" adaptation. Like,
It,
she
it,
imagines herself as Catherine, imagines her lover as Heathcliff, and maybe, because a lot of people were mad that Margot Robbie is like, well into her 30s playing a 19-year-old. I'm like, well, 19-year-olds did not look young back then, and even in the novel, we still don't really know Heathcliff's race. We all know that he's kind of racially ambiguous. He might have been Romani, like, probably, like, we're never gonna. I mean, we're never gonna get a good Heathcliff. I feel like accurately, like book accurate.
Yeah, that was another thing aspect people were talking about, the race aspect of it, of Heathcliff, that in the book he's described as tan, and that he could have been part, like you said, maybe Romanian, so maybe that's why his skin was a little maybe darker. So people brought that up as well, and they said it's important to the book because it adds an extra layer of a power dynamic between him and Catherine there. That's why it's an important element, possibly. But yeah,
And it's
but
important that he has dirty fingernails. At least they got that right
uh,
in
so
the first half.
Christina, what are your thoughts on Wuthering Heights?
Look, I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. It wasn't some like masterpiece of a like, adaptation of like a novel that I've never read in my life and don't intend to. I've read enough Jane Austen to be like, ugh, you read one novel from like a female author, you kind of read them all, when it comes to like that stuff. Like even like all the Bronte sisters have very similar like themes in their novels, so it's like, Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was, well, I mean, this is kind of Margot Robbie's first really, really big. Like, I know she did a film with Colin Farrell, but this is like her first like big like post Barbie, post like baby, because she just had a baby film.
Mm.
And she's doing something a little daring. I mean, not as daring as like Wolf of Wall Street or whatever, but like um I know she's helped produce Emerald Fennell's films with her Lucky Champs, Lucky Caps, whatever, production company. And Emerald Fennell was Midge in the Barbie movie. So they already have like a friendship, and she has faith in her, confidence in her to, to be a competent, female, filmmaker. Um and also, some of the cast members in Wuthering Heights have been in other Emerald Fennell movies like Saltburn. I'm like, Aemon Targaryen, do you wish to train? What are you doing here? Um, and my thing is that a lot of male directors are very loose with adaptations of source material, right? I don't see them getting as much criticism as like her. And it's like, we guys know what to expect from Emerald for now. She's gonna add a little bit of trash, a little bit of filth, a little bit of like scandal, and but like I just don't see the big deal. Maybe it's because I'm so desensitized to mature content that like maybe that's why I'm like, you guys really are freaking out about this movie being like a pornography type of situation when it was not that at all.
Mm. Oh, hey, how's it going there, Neil? Hey, hello, how are you? I kind of love Saltburn, so I'm excited about this. Yeah, Saltburn's kind of crazy in some good ways and a lot of bad ways.
It's good for the internet, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for, like, the viral moments, like, she probably made that, like, "I made this movie for TikTok in mind," you know?
Yeah. That's I mean, you speak about viral moments, and that's what sometimes a lot of this movie feels like it was made for, like, TikTok. It was made for TikTok clips and TikTok edits and some of the scenes. You have Charlie XAX who does the soundtrack for the movie, he does the soundtrack for it. And it gives it a kind of a modern feel. Usually, I don't mind that too much in period piece when
Yeah,
it has modern.
people were mad about, like, "This is not, period accurate, like, clothing," and I'm like, "Neither is Bridgerton." I'm like, "Guys, we're doing a point where historical dramas or period pieces are no longer following, like, the boring. Because how many times are we gonna have to adapt Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre? Like, I'm like, "Come on, guys, we gotta spice it up a bit," and that's why we have Bridgerton. I mean, even in the novels, there were people of color in Julia Quinn's original novels. Netflix, Shonda Rhimes added that to the thing,
Mm,
the spice things up, the fake nails, the glittery makeup, the lack of like accurate like clothing, like that all is it's a fantasy world. Why shouldn't it be a fantasy? You know,
mm,
I don't mind when it's clearly stating like this is not accurate. This is fantasy. This is still, this is adding some spice into these period pieces now that are because up until, like I was mentioning, the 70s, a lot of those novels were very, very boring and like about class and like no like enemies to lovers, hate fucking, fake dating tropes or whatever. Like none of those tropes were in a lot of these novels up until the mid like 20th century. So that's where we started seeing, a lot of, controversy surrounding like, oh my God, that, like that time period, that none of that was happening. No, it probably was, but it just, was, frowned upon in society and looked down upon.
Mm. Yeah. So in terms of the sexual element of the movie, I mean, like I said, it's been hyped up so much. Watching it, I mean, I don't really think it's really all that steamy, all that really super hot. Like, oh my god, like this
Most of
is
it's montages. If they really wanted to go, they should have had like 5-minute individual scenes with the characters, but a lot of them were just like montages clipped up, and it's like, this is it? Okay,
yeah, and they're
we're doing that.
mostly, if not always, fully clothed most of the
Yeah,
so like nobody's naked in this. Nobody, hangs dong or you know what I
yeah.
mean or anything like that. So
Yeah, again, I said this is Emerald Fennell's most tame film. Like, I feel like it goes Saltburn, Promising Young Woman, and then Wuthering Heights.
I think if I mean, but I mean, people I've seen people who say that they went to the theater and they were with other people and people were hooting and hollering. So I guess it for them it works. I guess I mean they were that into it and they were impressed by I guess the sex scenes and the
Well, it's
sexual stuff
because they
in
were
it.
probably tastefully done, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, you had I think that did you see that movie with Tessa Thompson, Nia DaCosta, Hedda? Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
That was more sexual. That was actually got really more down and dirty. If you wanted something like that in a setting kind of similar, that did a lot more.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why I'm looking forward to season 6 of Bridgerton where Francesca gets her storyline because she's kind of a closeted lesbian who, ends up pining for her dead husband's cousin that's almost like a close sibling, but in the novel, it's Michael, but for the show, it's Michaela, and oh my god, people are freaking out about that, and I'm like,
mm.
"Let it go. Queen Charlotte's black. There are Indians, and I'm like, I don't understand why." Like Bridgerton fans are so weird because it's like they watch the show, they first get mad with like race changes, and then they get fine with it, but the gender swapping is what they can't comprehend right now, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah, and then so the things I liked about it, I'll say the things I liked about Wuthering Heights first. I think I
one
liked
score.
we say
The score was really good.
some of the score was good. I'll say that. I think the costume design is really great. I think Margot Robbie looks beautiful. I mean, in a lot of the outfits that she wears in it, she looks really great there. I like some of the cinematography, especially the contrast they show between Wuthering Heights and between like the rich estate she's at, and then when she
Yeah,
gets married and that. I think that contrast between those two things looks really beautiful.
very bright.
Yeah, like, in the manner he lives, like, the colors all very bright, like, it looks like something out of kinda like Alice in Wonderland, very much like
Mhm.
that, that's really cool. I like that, besides that, I don't really like much else really. Even, I like Margot Robbie, and Margot Robbie, I think, has proven herself to be a really great actress there. Um, I don't really like her in this movie all that much, and I would say it's the character she's playing. It's not to say you can't have unlikable characters, but I don't think none of the characterization here, like in the book, I understand they're to be younger. Like she's supposed to be a teenager in the book, and I don't know if they're supposed to be playing younger in this because I don't know if they're supposed to be playing younger or playing their actual age. Like if there are,
Yeah, because spinster, like, if you don't get married by the time, like, you're 18 and you're still on the shelf, you become a spinster for, like, until you actually do get married. Um, and again, that's why a lot of people are like, "Why is she playing a 19-year-old? She's well into her 30s." And it's like, guys, again, I mean, 19-year-olds back in the day did not look young, too. I'm like, she if anything, she actually looks like how a 19-year-old would look back then, but prettier. Like, it's
mm, yeah. So I that kind of threw me off because the movie starts with them as kids. So you have
yeah.
Nellie, who is played by Hung Chow. People might know she was in the Menu. She was in that. I believe wasn't she also in Kinds of Kindness as well? She was in that movie
Yeah,
with
she was also oh god, she was also in, she was nominated for an Oscar
oh, really?
back
For
back in 2022. What was it? Oh, Jesus.
oh, The Whale. The
Yeah,
Whale.
The Whale.
She was also in that. Yeah, so she was in The Whale. So people might know her from that. And then she plays a character called Nellie, who's like the companion of Catherine, who's this girl who comes from who's the bastard child of a lord. And
Mm,
then it seems like when they're kids, like Nellie seems the oldest, but not by like a whole lot.
yeah,
And then there's Catherine, and then there's the boy who comes along, Heathcliff. The boy seems more in the middle. He seems like maybe the middle, as far as
yeah,
age goes. And the boy is played by Owen Cooper, who the boy had a really great year this year as far as awards season. He swept. He was the boy from Adolescence, the
yeah,
main character in that. So he did really really great in that. So he's in this as young Heathcliff. Then you have young Catherine. So it seems like yeah. And then when they get when they flashes to them being older, it seems like they're clearly the ages they are in real life. You know, like Hung Chow, who's 45, looks in her 40s, and then Margot Robbie looks more in her 30s, and Jacob Elordi, who's still 28, he looks in his late 20s. So it's like it
yeah.
kind of throws you off a little bit. I did that kind of have issue with that with you a little bit or no?
Again, it did throw me off a little bit, just because different, ages and whatnot. But again, people age differently even back then, so I literally had to like justify a lot of stuff in my head.
Mm, okay. What did you think about the performances here? Because Jacob Elordi, people are really, heralding Jacob Elordi. He's nominated for an Oscar, Frankenstein, playing Frankenstein's monster.
Mhm.
Some people it really surprised them. Some people even thought he outshined Oscar Isaac in Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And it surprised me. I thought he was really fabulous in that movie. But it seems like I don't know. For me, this movie kind of norbited. He kind of norbited with this movie for me. What about you? What are you thinking about the performances in it?
I I feel like considering this is a very loose adaptation, they still had to adapt like how people behaved and like kept themselves back then, or like as if they were trying to do like or how actors like in a way the performances don't look like modern performances. It is like they're trying to do like a Laurence Olivier and whoever the female lead was in the 1939 version. Like the way that they were acting was very much like, yeah, you could tell this film could have been done in 1939 as well, just how they acted in the movie. And I feel like that's what's kind of throwing me off. It's like maybe I've not watched enough period pieces, but it's like you could tell when you're doing like maybe it's just because it is the source material, and it's like yeah, I've probably seen enough Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility adaptations to recognize like oh yeah, this is like British. It's just a British thing. Because
Mm.
I keep forgetting that Margot Robbie is Australian, so when she has her British accent, I'm like, "Oh, whoa, what? What's happening?"
2 Australians. He's Australian too, yeah. So it's 2 Aussies,
Yeah.
in this. Yeah, I did like the actor who played her father, Martin Clunes, who's in this, who's the father there.
Yeah.
He does pretty well. Um, and yeah, it just like I said, it makes more sense if they would be younger there for them to behave the way they're behaving because it's this constant like they want each other, but then they're constantly playing these games, like these kind of childish games with each other,
Yeah.
back and forth. And I thought that was kind of got annoying after a while. Like I said, this, kind of this built up as being this super sexual, like steamy kind of thing. I think it falls on that front. I think the element of like the modern music doesn't really work in the movie at all. And then, I mean, this is gonna sound kind of crazy of like, because I mean, this is like what kind of what actors do, but it just feels like people just purely playing dress up. And that's kind of what actors do. They play dress up and they pretend, but it just feels like I'm not really teleported or transported into this world that they're crafting. It just always feels like, it's just like, oh, I'm just watching Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. I'm not really watching any characters or any actors that are
Yeah. Yeah.
familiar.
And again, this is why it's in quotes, "Wuthering Heights," because again, there's no real accuracy
Mm-mm.
besides it maybe taking place in the 1870s, but other than that, what else is there to there's not much else.
Yeah. And it kinda gets kinda stagnant just as far as I mean, because you only really see 2 locations. You only see the rich estate and then the Wuthering Heights. That's kind of the only two things you really. It just goes back and forth
Yeah.
between those two things. So it kind of gets kind of boring after a while. It's like, well, the setting is like, okay, you got some kind of dull kind of characters, and then the setting also isn't all that interesting because even though it's shot very well, it's like, okay, you only cutting between two things, either the rich estate or the poor Wuthering Heights there. So I just thought that was got that kind of got a little old and boring after a while. What were some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a very intimate movie if you really think about it, just because of the fact it's not like, I mean, this the budget was only like 80 million,
Mm.
which
Okay.
is
Looks good.
like, wow, that's kind
Modest.
of, yeah. So it's like, oh damn, you only, again, it's just a lot of going back and forth between the two places. But what also got me too is that, again, another thing with characters, Isabella being into it. Apparently in the novel she's not into it.
Mm.
As Heathcliff's, degrading her, treating her like a literal dog. In the novel, everyone's like, "No, that's not what happens." And it's like, "Oh boy, here we go." And again, you would think like we would see more of that, considering that's such a character change. But it's like, no, we just see her like on a leash, and that's about it. It's like we don't really see him torturing her and her being like into it. There's just like hints of her. I'm like, again, guys, where is the sex? Like what am I missing here? How is this like supposed to be like controversial? Oh my god. Like it's again, this movie could have been rated G and you would have not even noticed much of a difference.
Yeah, that's probably the freakiest stuff that happens is the BDSM part of it. That's probably maybe the freakiest thing.
Barely.
Um,
And it's
might as well. I mean, we might as well just do spoilers since it's a book and it's. I mean, there's been 80 adaptations of this fucking thing.
yeah.
Um, so what happens towards the movie is that you see that Heathcliff he runs away, and because he runs away there, and the reason he runs away is Nellie's. She seems like it seems like this movie's trying to picture Nellie is like the main kind of antagonist of things kind of going on
Yeah,
between.
kind of like a bystander, because she kind of is responsible for a lot of the shit that actually ends up happening, like in the book, like in the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Nellie, she sees that Heathcliff, he's overhearing their conversation she's having with Catherine about marrying Edgar, who's the very wealthy guy. And then so she makes, him overhear that conversation and that, she's going to end up marrying him because it's like, well, I'm going to have a better life with him than with Heathcliff because, he's rich and everything. So Heathcliff runs off. He runs away for 5 years. She ends up getting married to him after waiting and postponing the marriage for like a year. Then eventually Heathcliff comes back and he's a changed man. He shaved, he cut his hair,
No more dirty fingernails.
no more. He fixed his teeth, he replaced his tooth. I was wondering, like, how does he amass a fortune? Because he eventually comes back and buys
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights, but it's like
It keeps it as it is.
yeah, I was like, is he not gonna fix this up or what? Like he keeps it as it is. Yeah, I was wondering that too. And then also, how does he amass a fortune if he can't read or write? Because they say in the beginning, like he's some street urchin kid, and
Yeah,
like
he's
I
a
was
street rat. He's Aladdin. He's, not singing Arabian Nights, but in the Brits.
yeah. Yeah, so I was kind of wondering if they explain like he can't read or write, and then he can't read or write to the point where he has to make her write the love letters to Catherine. Then we're gonna get into that, but yeah, so he comes back, starts shit up again with Catherine, even though she's married, she's pregnant, with him, and then to make her jealous, he ends up getting with Elizabeth there. But even before that, we see that yeah, she's pregnant and she tells him that he's pregnant with Edgar's child. It seems like, I mean, during that time Catherine has made like zero effort to just try to maybe like Edgar a little bit, like at least
Ugh.
attempt to. Like I don't know how he is in the book. I don't know, maybe he's like there's something there, but it just seems like I don't know, just like I mean, at least come on. I mean, at least try to see if you have something in common or something. There's a scene earlier in the movie where she gets hurt trying to spy on them and she hurts her ankle and then she stays with
Hmm.
them for 6 weeks. Maybe if we saw that, maybe we would have got a little something like, I don't know, maybe she kind of was kind of pondering, like, well, I guess he's kind of nice, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Because he seems like a very, like, uncruel rich dude, 'cause and that's kind of like a thing that's like, really? An aristocrat that's not, like, unkind? And, like, it's kind of, it's like, oh, seems like the perfect guy who's also just rich, you know? Who wouldn't wanna end up with Edgar, you know?
Yeah, and the actor he's playing, I believe they said he's English and Pakistani.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a man of color in the book. I don't know if that's the case there, but yeah. So people were talking about that. So yeah, so he comes back there, and then what really kind of, and they're having an affair. And what really kind of pushes it over the edge, at least for her, is that Heathcliff says that I mean, I'll do anything you tell me to do. I'll even kill him if you wanted to. And then that's to the point where she even gets kind of freaked out and she was like, what the fuck? And then she says, okay, we can't do this anymore. Then he goes to Elizabeth, who's the sister of Edgar, and then comes to her through her window. And, I guess this is supposed to where you're supposed to feel good about Heathcliff still. It's difference in the book is that he basically says all the things that he's gonna do. He's like, listen, I don't love you. I'm never gonna love you. The only reason
Yeah.
I'm gonna get married to you is just to make Catherine jealous, and that I'm always gonna think about Catherine every time I'm with you. So she agrees to it, and she says, "Okay, that's fine." And they do end up getting together. Um, and so I guess it's supposed to make you feel good still about Heathcliff and make him the one of the heroes and love interests of the story, I guess.
I
Uh,
don't think again, I don't understand how people in the novel who are like, "Heathcliff is an abuser, he's this, he's that," but it's a great love story, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, that doesn't do anything for me if you're gonna critique this adaptation." I feel like if that is Heathcliff as a character in the novel, I'm sorry, there's no way you can fix him to be this, romantic lead or whatever. Like,
mm,
I don't get it. Like, you can't be if Heathcliff's supposed to be an abusive piece of shit in the novel, you can't be mad of how he's portrayed in a film or TV adaptation.
mm. So then, so
Because I think
yeah.
he's just been sanitized in a lot of adaptation. Because I don't think they could get away with that in like 1939.
And they also say that so people when they adapt Wuthering Heights, it's only been ever one half of the book. Like there's a
Yeah,
second half of the book where there's something else that happens, I guess, afterwards there. But so yeah, so he's with Elizabeth there, like that's the BDSM stuff, like eventually they engage that. They engage in, even like having one of the workers at Wuthering Heights like watch him have sex with Elizabeth as well. There's that kind of going on, which is very strange and kind of abusive. Like he didn't consent to that, but okay. So yeah, there's that. And then he's in the meantime, while he's married to her at Wuthering Heights, they're together. Again, still didn't fix up the place, still the same shitty looking place it was when we first saw it.
mhm,
He's making her write letters to Catherine about how much he loves her, everything like that. But Nellie, who's the companion of Catherine, is burning all the letters. And
yeah,
then this is something that didn't make sense to me was that when she hears the news that Heathcliff got married, Catherine's super depressed. Like she's staying in a room, she's not eating, which didn't really make sense to me because it's like, well, he really doesn't love her and he would drop her at the minute. I mean, what did you think about kind of that there about
I mean, again, I mean, we've seen instances of Catherine not getting her way and being a spoiled brat, and Nellie kind of enables that behavior, knowing well how she reacts when she doesn't get her way. So it's like, Nellie, what are you doing? You also are making yourself miserable by enabling these two in their toxic relationship by playing these types of games that they're also kind of trying to play on each other.
mm. So she's burning the letters. She's staying in a room, not eating. Catherine tells Nellie that, she lost the baby, but she says, oh, have you bled? Nellie asks. And she's like, Catherine's like, no. So she just ignores her because she thinks she's just being dramatic, which she is being dramatic. I mean, she's staying in a room, not eating. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah,
like a little over dramatic. So, but eventually she contracts a disease that kills her.
yeah,
Um, and he comes running once he hears the news and he arrives when she's already dead and he lifts up her dead body. So that's how it basically ends there.
yeah.
I mean, she dies in the book. So it is, I guess it does end, from my knowledge, exactly how the book is supposed to end, I guess. Um, yeah. So for you, you thought it was fun, you thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I mean, it's not like, I was like, "Oh," but it was crazy because I mean, there was my entire row was, like, younger couples, like, girls who were definitely probably, like I read Wuthering Heights in high school, and I've made it my entire personality. I can hear, like I was like at the end, I'm like, "What?" Okay, I'm like, "You know what? Maybe it's because I never read the novel, I have no attachment to it," but I was not like, "Oh my god, it's such a sad love story." I wasn't but I mean, it wasn't like me when I was watching, like, the end of, like, Wicked for Good or whatever the hell, but I'm just like, "What? Okay, you know what?" I'm like, I mean, again, it's like, the novel was polarized when it came out because a lot of people were like, "Damn, there's a lot of abuse in this story, what?" You know? So it's like, "Oh, great," it's fascinating. But I mean, again, it's kind of like the what happens in those stories at that time period. There was never really a happy ending. Someone has to die.
Mm. Yeah. I didn't really feel that much emotion for anybody really. I
Yeah.
didn't feel any emotion between the 2 of them all that much to make me care about the ending. Um, I didn't even really think they had that much really chemistry, really. I mean, it's 2 very attractive people,
Yeah.
but I didn't really feel any, like, burning passion, really, like, sparks that are just flying off the screen in terms of chemistry there. I didn't really feel that really watching it. So then when it came to the ending, yeah, of her dying, I was like, "Yeah, I don't really feel all that much about this."
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I have a lot more issues with it than kind of liking it. And I think, yeah, I'm more on the negative side than the positive side with this. And this is not me like I haven't read the book, so it's not me coming from a book adaptation perspective of it being that a poor adaptation of that. It just kind of coming from I just think it's just not a good movie as aspect of that. So for me, I just would give it uh a skip it. I give it a skip it. What about for you? What would be your final thoughts rating?
I mean, it really just depends because there's so many different angles to come from when it comes to this movie. I mean, if you're wanting to see a movie for Valentine's Day, go ahead. It's it's not the greatest love story ever told, according what people think. I'm like, okay, you know what? We gotta stop saying a tragic love story is the greatest love story. No, a greatest love story we told is when there's a happy ending for the couples, not some Romeo and Juliet nonsense. Okay, maybe a Jane Austen movie, right? Pride and Prejudice. They and Elizabeth Bennet gets her happy ending. Like, but I don't know, I just feel like, it's fine. I thought it was okay. I did like, the style and all that. And yeah, I mean, if this is like if you just want to try to see if you're an Emerald Fennell fan and interested in her work, just know that this is her most tame, clean, like washed, like whitewashed adaptation or film because again, it was not a freaky pornographic fest that I was promised by Bronte purist.
I heard I was looking at some people. They said the Filipino adaptation of Wuthering Heights is pretty good.
Hmm,
People were saying that one. I makes me want to check it out. I haven't seen it, but people said that's pretty good.
mm,
So yeah. So your rating would be more of what, like a kind of like a stream it or more like
yeah,
a stream it?
stream it,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I give it a skip it. Christina gives it a stream it for Wuthering Heights. Has Emma Fennell talked about what she wants to do next? Has she?
I don't know, but I do recommend the Flame and the Flower novel to be adapted. I feel like she can probably do some of that justice for
Okay.
sure,
Um,
considering the storyline.
I don't think I've heard of that one before. The Flame and the Flower. Okay.
Yeah, it literally there's like 4 rape scenes
Oh. Okay.
the characters eventually do fall in love and have a lot of hot sex and live happily ever after, and yeah. Mhm.
So it's like what, 365 days or something like that? Or it's like that?
Not like that. They actually it's not like that because it's not like a mafia guy. I mean, he literally confuses her for a prostitute, and that's why he feels like he does what he does to her was justified or something like that. I don't know, but it's
Hmm.
been a while since I've read that novel, so
Okay. And what do you think? Do you think the interviews between when it's her and Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie, you think those are just as uncomfortable as the ones with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, or what?
Well, I feel like they're actually trying too hard. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, you can tell they actually bonded, and people need to understand that female friendships can be platonic and very close and soulful without it being romantic or sexual. But for them, it's like, oh yeah, they're two romantic leads. They're leaning into that, despite the fact that she's married with a baby, and it's like, oh god.
Mm. So
It's
you
like
think they
saying
just?
with it seems like with the heated rivalry dudes. I'm like, really? We're fine with them queer baiting?
Mm.
But me
So you
can
think?
tell they're friends, that they got along and stuff like that because they're both Aussies. So you know,
So you think they just playing it up for the movie? They're just marketing for the movie. Okay,
yeah.
that's,
I
yeah.
mean, fucking, we fell for it for Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson.
Oh, they're not really dating. They're not really dating?
Nope.
Oh, I thought they were really dating. Oh,
I was
okay.
so depressed when I found that out. I'm like, no. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
it worked though. It worked.
that was our thoughts on Wuthering Heights there. In theaters now. Yeah. Valentine's Day weekend. People can check it out there. All right. Thank you so much again, Christina.
Hmm.
So much there. I'm gonna go ahead and raid somebody there. There you go. One more time, let people know about you. What you got going on? What you got coming up next? Other good stuff.
Yeah, I try to stream almost every day on Twitch, but I'm like currently cat sitting, so that's throwing my whole schedule up for a loop for the next week or so. Yay. You can find me at twitch.tv/cosmopolitics. You can also find me on YouTube at Movie Night Extravaganza and on this space on YouTube.
Very cool there. What are you guys doing next over at Movie Night Extravaganza?
The ping pong movie.
Oh, Marty
Marty
Supreme. Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say
They're
Balls of
gonna they're
Fury.
gonna give they're gonna give my boy Timothée his career Oscar at the age of 30. It's so sad because I've seen better performances from him, like the
Mm.
Wonka movie. Like
I
that's how I feel. I'm like, really, this is the movie you want to get an Oscar for, knowing what we know now about the Safdie brothers and Kevin O'Leary, and I mean, I know his mom. She's a sweetheart, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta message her and tell her that we're gonna cover the movie.
um okay. I for some reason I really think Wagner Moore is gonna win. I think he's gonna sneak it for some reason. He's my dark horse. I think he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
Secret
I'd be
agent.
surprised, but
But awesome. I will be there. Who's the special guest?
Kayla says she's a YouTuber who's done this, who's known for her series. How the internet fell out of love with blank celebrity.
Oh, I think I do. I think I've seen her. Oh yeah, I do know Kayla Says. I do know her.
Yeah, she did a video about like Timothy Chalamet's like Oscar campaigns in the past, and I'm like, she'd be perfect for this movie.
Okay, very cool there. But yeah. All right, people. Take care. And she did a recently good video about Wuthering Heights I watched just recently.
Yep.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. Out of here. Thank you.
Yep. Thank